Eventually, I'm going to turn it into a giant bear. Arr. But that time is not right now. I'm actually really bullish. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but of traditional finance, the dinosaurs. Just wait till you hear what I have to say on this. Okay, but first we have $675 million worth of longs getting absolutely annihilated during that rise from $107,000 to $102,000. So these are gamblers in the space, just they're good at losing money. I don't really care. So moving on, we also have credit card delinquencies. This is in the US. Unpaid balances for at least 90 days just hit their highest level in 14 years. Check out this chart. Oh my goodness. So when you hear the pundits on mainstream saying, oh yes, the economy is doing great, unemployment's doing great, inflation's really low, just realize that there's another side of that story. All they know how to do is lie or fabricate lies, okay? And so if you do actually want to check out a good site, I think it's shadowstats.org. You get a more realistic idea of what inflation is instead of the BS that the government puts out, because we all know governments lie. Okay, so moving on, we have 30-year mortgage rate hit a 7.4 this week, near its highest level, get this century, guys. So, I mean, the writing is on the wall for the US economy. But it's good news for those of you who are in this space that are learning about money, that are educating yourselves, because this is what's going to save your butts, not anything government does. I can promise you that. Okay, so moving on, we have JP Morgan. Now, here's the thing, let me get this right. JP Morgan CEO says clients can buy Bitcoin, but the bank won't custody it. Jamie Dimon, CEO, says, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. Why isn't he a fan? Well, actually, he did an interview saying that the reason why he doesn't like Bitcoin because it's used for trafficking, you know what I'm talking about, and other things and drugs and whatever. Interestingly enough, I don't know if mainstream would ever admit this, but guess who what was his name? Oh yeah, Epstein, the guy that didn't kill himself. Guess who his banker was? JP Morgan. So you know what? He's a criminal. He would know what criminals use. They use the US dollar. All right. So moving on, we have Senate advances stablecoin bill Genius Act to floor for debate. So they're really pushing through the Stablecoin Act. You have to wonder, why are they pushing so hard the stablecoin debate? And why are they calling it Genius Act? Well, first off, hats off to the Federal Reserve, because they pulled this scam off so good. Stablecoins are CBDCs. If you don't know this by now, if you don't know this by now, you should really hit that subscribe button for, so you can get notifications when I post a video, because you actually learn something watching these videos, okay? So this is what it is. So Trump and everybody says, yeah, you're not gonna have CBDCs under my watch, but you're gonna have a stablecoin, which is a CBDC. So why is this such a big deal? Because they need to push this as fast as possible, because I think the US dollar is in big trouble. So if they can get a CBDC out, it'll save the economy. But we all know that's not going to really happen. So quit voting, or quit getting excited about your demise, people. You're getting excited about stablecoin regulations. It's pathetic at this point, okay? If you don't understand that, then I can't help you. All right, so now we have China vowing to take measures if the US insists on going its own way. This is according to, tariffs. So it just shows that there haven't been the positive negotiations that you think are happening behind the scenes, because governments are not open. They're not very transparent. It doesn't matter which government you are, China, US, who cares? Same crap. Okay, so they're just not going to be transparent with you guys. But what you can do is look at what Bitcoin's done during this entire time. It's kicking butt, guys. It just shows you one more reason why we hold Bitcoin, is to take your money away from the third party crazy governments that get involved with most of people's lives, and then you can take most of your life out of that equation so you don't have to be wrecked every single time they do something horrible like they're doing right now. So let's move on to Jim Chanos. Now, let me get this straight. He is the founder of Kaniko's Associates, a New York City registered investment advisor. Okay, so he's got a lot of money. He's in traditional finance. That's what he likes to do. So this guy has now shorted MicroStrategy and went long Bitcoin. Now, you may think, why would he do that? Here's one of the things that he said. He thinks that MicroStrategy is way overvalued. So he says in one of his tweets, wow, people get very upset when you point out they are buying $1 for $3 and doing exactly what their favorite company is doing, MSTR. So why do I point that at? Well, he's shorting MicroStrategy and he's going long Bitcoin. This is a traditional finance guy, okay? So he thinks that it's more valuable to hold Bitcoin the master. Do you agree with him? And here's the thing, it's gonna make a lot of people angry because a lot of people worship Saylor. They don't just like him. It's a cult at this point. So with that said, he understands the fundamentals of Bitcoin are going to outlast the fundamentals of MicroStrategy. I think he fully understands that. I totally agree with him. I think that's really interesting coming from a traditional finance background. One of the dinosaurs that I make fun of, yes, I do, but wow, that's really good. It actually gives me a hope for this space, knowing that hopefully there will be other people that actually see the value in Bitcoin other than all these Saylor Bitcoin maximalist knuckleheads that are just clumping in a group and like whatever. They don't know what they're talking about. Also, they don't even understand Bitcoin itself, because if they did, they would simply buy Bitcoin. They wouldn't care about some centralized entity called MicroStrategy buying up 500,000 Bitcoin. You got excited about that? If you did, you should check the white paper out. It's really interesting. I suggest you read it. Anyways, talk to you soon.